It was an awe-inspiring experience to shake hands with a leader of the free world and know that in those same hands rests the fate of the free world. And to have 1-degree connection with a man like that and 2nd-degree connection with the rest of the leaders of the entire world is such an incredible honor. It was fantastic.
The feeling was indescribable. You know, you see him as such a TV figurehead, and then he comes into the room, and you're like, "Holy cow! I've never even experienced this before." Because he seems so unreal that when you see him in real life, it's almost surreal to see him. And just to shake his hand, he removes all doubt that he can definitely lead the free world, and it's so incredible.
It was absolutely amazing. I shook his hand and said, "Sir, thank you for your hard work," and he turned to me and said, "Son, thank you for yours." And it's definitely the peak of my life so far. I'll never be able to relive that moment.
And I think what's amazing about this is that the leader of the free world came to talk to us about how important he thinks that the education of our youth is and civic involvement. I mean, that's such a testament not only to, you know, what we're doing here, but to this program and the Legion itself.
I'm on just cloud 9 right now. That was such a surreal experience. And what amazes me most is that the president of our nation took that time out of his day when we're facing a national crisis to talk to us. And that's just fantastic, and I'm never going to forget this experience.
And it was really impressive to meet the president and to know that he's not only our commander-in-chief, but he's a real person, and he can convey that. And he was very cordial and very inviting, and just a warm person and a very neat experience to have.
As soon as President Obama walked into the room, you could tell he demanded everyone's respect. Everyone may not have been a Democrat in the room, however, everybody was just so in awe of his presence. And you know what? As soon as you shook his hand, you knew he was the person in charge. You knew he was the person in charge of our country, and everybody gave him the respect he demanded from us. Not in a forceful way, but in a way that we were just so in awe of his presence that we gave him 100% of the respect, and I'm so happy we have someone like that in charge of our country.
And just seeing the president come into the room, he had command over everything, and he all inspired us just with the words he gave. And then after shaking his hand, I just know that he, even though everyone may not agree with his policy, we know that he can lead our country well, and that we all have respect for the office of the president.
I think it was amazing that he was able to take his time out of his incredibly busy week to come visit us. The only thing I could think was I was overwhelmed with respect for a man who has given so much to this country, and how much he does for this country, I truly respect. So it was a truly amazing experience.
And I shook the president's hand, not once, but twice. And he has just his grip and the way he shook my hand, I could tell that our nation was in good hands. It's amazing.
I would suggest cutting in these areas so that the single mother who's sitting at home with 3 kids, having to pay taxes for something that is not going to come back around to her, can put food on the table for her children.
Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security comprise 45% of our national budget today. That figure will only increase as time goes on. Too often, if you're a Democrat, you're a communist. If you're a Republican, you're a racist. That's not what my administration will be about.
But if there's one thing that I've learned through the process at Boys State and here at Boys Nation, is that mediation is always possible.
And I think ultimately, if we want to reduce that unemployment, ultimately, if we want to create a spark in our economy, we at some point are going to have to address that debt issue.
So with regards to unemployment, the most important way that I believe that we could confront unemployment is by giving as many tax cuts as we can to the lower class. This would include reevaluating the Bush tax cuts, which are up for the expiration in the near future.
As President Lincoln said, the discourse in the classroom today is the discourse in the government tomorrow. We have an obligation to ensure that our children are learning and that they will be educated so that they are able to inherit what so many have fought for and be able to keep our nation strong so that we may remain a powerful bastion of freedom.
If we're not going to pour the money into our educational systems, if we're not going to ensure the better education of our future, people that are going to have to deal with things like trillion-dollar deficits, people that are going to have to deal with things like corporations that we can't let fail, we certainly need to make sure that the money is there for these students to learn,
We have a situation in which 30 million Americans are uninsured. We have health insurance premiums at an all-time high. We have people struggling just to make ends meet. Basically, if you get sick, you are bankrupt in certain families. That is something that cannot be allowed.
The fact is that competition, the driving down of prices in our capitalistic system from one healthcare company to another, ensures that our healthcare opportunities are kept as low as possible.
I don't feel that as a democratic society, forcing people into military service or into volunteer service is something that is really befitting of our nation. I feel like we have other ways to promote those things, and I feel like the people who really want to do them are the people who are going to do them, and they're the people who belong to do them.
Required to do public service? I don't think so. But encouraged? Absolutely.
The second thing we're going to do is lower government spending. There's no reason that we should be spending money that we don't have. I would push for a balanced budget in a perfect world. However, this is not a perfect world.
My role model is Thomas Jefferson. John F. Kennedy had a gathering at the White House amongst some of the nation's most intelligent people. And he said, "This is the most intelligent gathering ever to be held at the White House, except when Thomas Jefferson dined alone."
Hi, my name is Ryan Deason, and I'm from the great state of North Carolina, first in flight. I would like to start out by thanking American Legion Post 45 for sending me a voice tape and getting me here, and most importantly, thanking the men and women who serve in our armed forces, defending the freedom that we enjoy today. So with that, I cast one vote for Senator Mike Herbert. Oklahoma, how do your senators vote?
From the land of freedom, my name is Jimbo Herbert. I would first like to thank my parents for supporting me in all of my endeavors, and a special shout out to my voice tape program back at home, and thank you to
vote for Senator Preston Moore.
How do you cast your vote?
Hello, It is my honor to be elected the 2011 Boys Nation president. I cannot tell you how much this means to me, how excited I am, and what a joy it is. I look forward to the next 3 days, looking forward to getting our bills passed and tackling some of our nation's prickliest problems. Senator Moore from Georgia had an excellent race. I think he'd have been fine either way, and I just once more want to congratulate him on a job well done. It was just so exciting when I realized that I was going to be the next president to have this opportunity to lead this prestigious program.
It was really just a humbling experience just to see so much support from the senators, and just an overwhelming consensus of what we want to get done, and just how we want to do it. And it's really just a great honor just to be able to serve the Senate, to serve the American Legion, and to serve the country. I'm really just going to take away how this government works and what it's founded on, the principles it's founded on, and just the principle of representation and of democracy, and just experiencing it firsthand is really just amazing.